The woods were ancient. They were called Whispering Woods, and Sarah felt a thrill just entering them. Sarah as Sarah. "Come on, Max, let's explore." Beside her, Max, her loyal Labrador, trotted happily. His tail wagged, a furry metronome against her jeans. The sun shone through the leaves above, with beams of light dappling the forest floor. Birds sang, their melodies a cheerful welcome. For a moment, Sarah forgot her worries. The woods felt peaceful. Sarah as Sarah. "This is perfect, Max. Just what we needed." Sarah took a deep breath. The air smelled clean, like pine needles and damp earth. She smiled. This was exactly what she needed. A break from the city, a chance to clear her head. Max as Max. Max barked, a sharp, happy sound. He plunged deeper into the woods, weaving between the tall trees. Sarah followed, her boots crunching on fallen leaves. The sun began to set. Shadows stretched, growing longer and darker. The cheerful birdsong faded, replaced by a hushed silence. Sarah shivered. The air felt colder now, almost damp. She checked her watch. It was later than she realized. She should turn back. A strange unease crept over her. The woods, once welcoming, now seemed menacing. Sarah as Sarah. "Max, we should head back. It's getting late," Max whined, his tail no longer wagging. He stayed close to Sarah, his brown eyes watching the deepening shadows. Sarah as Sarah. "It's okay, boy," she whispered, though her voice wavered. She quickened her pace, her hand tightening on Max's leash. The woods seemed to press in, the trees looming like silent giants. Fear, cold and sharp, pricked at her skin. The darkness deepened. The last rays of sunlight vanished. Sarah fumbled for her flashlight, her heart pounding in her chest. Where had she put it? Her fingers closed around the cold metal. She clicked it on, but the beam flickered weakly, casting eerie shadows that danced around her. The batteries were almost dead. Panic welled in her chest. Sarah as Sarah. Oh no, not now. A twig snapped. Sarah jumped, her breath catching in her throat. Max growled, a low rumble in his chest. She strained to see through the gloom, her pulse quickening. Sarah as Sarah. "Hello? Is anyone there?" Only silence answered her. The silence of the woods, now heavy and oppressive. Then she heard it. A voice, soft and familiar, carried on the wind.
"Sarah."
Sarah froze. Her blood ran cold. That voice, it couldn't be. It was impossible.
"Mum," she whispered, her voice barely audible.
Fear clawed at her throat, choking her. Her mother had been dead for years.
"Sarah, come closer."
It was faint, like a whisper in the darkness, but undeniably her mother's voice.
"It's okay, boy," Sarah murmured, though her voice shook. "Narrator." Max whimpered, his fur on end. He nudged Sarah's hand, his warm body trembling. He whined again, louder this time, a warning growl rumbling in his chest.
She felt a strange pull towards the voice, a mixture of fear and longing. Her mother's voice. Could it really be her? Max barked, a sharp, urgent sound. He stepped in front of Sarah, placing himself between her and the direction of the voice. He stared into the darkness, his body tense. He sensed it too. The danger, the wrongness. But Sarah couldn't turn back. Not now. Not when her mother's voice called to her from the darkness.
"Mom," Sarah called out again, her voice stronger this time. "Is that really you?"
The need to know, to see her mother again, outweighed her fear. The voice seemed to sigh, a soft, mournful sound.
"Sarah, come closer. I need you."
Ignoring Max's whimpers, Sarah took a step towards the voice. Then another. The flashlight flickered, casting long, dancing shadows around her. The eyes blinked at her from the darkness. 2 points of eerie green light. They weren't her mother's eyes. Panic surged through Sarah. She was not alone in the woods.